"You're just a beta placeholder until I figure out what I want," she said. So I quietly packed a bag and vanished that night. Now her alpha cheated and she's crying in my DMs. But I'm not listening anymore. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Tessa and I had been together for 3 years. We moved in after 1, talked about marriage after 2, and by the 3rd I thought I was building the kind of life people post about. Stability, shared goals, love that doesn't burn out. I was wrong. She used to call me her safe place. Back when we first started dating, she'd brag about me to her friends. How I listened, how I never raised my voice, how I made her feel calm just by existing. I took pride in that. I wasn't flashy, I didn't need the room's attention. I just showed up every day and loved her the best way I knew how. I'm in IT consulting. I don't drive a sports car or take shirtless gym selfies, but I make good money. I'm stable, and I thought that mattered. But over time, Tessa started changing. It started small. A few offhand comments like, "You're so routine, babe. Do you ever just do something spontaneous?" Then she'd laugh like it was a joke, but I could feel it wasn't. Then came the comparisons. We were at a party once, one of her college friends' birthdays, and this guy Nick kept doing these obnoxious push-ups in the living room for laughs. She nudged me and said, "You could learn a thing or two from him." A little confidence never hurt. I just gave her a look. She said, "Don't be so sensitive, it's just a joke." It never felt like a joke. Over the next few months, that version of her, the one who saw me as her safe place, started disappearing. She was glued to her phone, laughing at texts she wouldn't explain. Started posting thirst traps with captions like, "Don't get comfortable." She still came home to me every night, but it felt like I was living with someone who had already emotionally moved on. I tried to talk to her. One night I said, "Hey, are we okay? You've been different lately. Distant. I don't want to guess what's going on." She sighed like I was exhausting her. "Tessa, you're overanalyzing again. This is what I mean. Everything has to be a deep conversation with you. Can't we just be?" I didn't want to argue, so I let it go. The next week, she posted a selfie with a guy from her gym, full arm around her waist, big smile. Caption, "Training with the best flexed biceps fired." I didn't recognize him. When I asked about it, she rolled her eyes. "Tessa, oh my God, it's just a post. You seriously need to chill. You're acting insecure, and honestly, it's not attractive." That hit harder than she realized. I'd never tried to control her or monitor her. I gave her freedom because I trusted her. But now she was using that trust as a weapon. I wish I could say I ended it there, but I didn't. I stayed, hoping it was a phase, hoping the woman I fell in love with would come back if I just stayed steady. That hope died the night she said what she said. It was a Wednesday, normal dinner, quiet. She was scrolling TikTok while I washed dishes. I asked her if she wanted to watch something together after. She didn't answer at first. Then she put her phone down, tilted her head like she was studying me. "Tessa, do you ever wonder why I'm still here?" I paused. "What do you mean?" "Tessa, you're sweet, and loyal, and comfortable, but that's all you are." I dried my hands and turned to face her. "Where is this coming from?" She shrugged. "Tessa, you're just a beta placeholder until I figure out what I want." Silence. I thought I misheard her. I just stared. She laughed, actually laughed, like it was clever. "Tessa, relax. I'm just being honest. You'll still be here when I come back to my senses." I didn't say anything. Not because I didn't have words, but because I didn't want to waste them. She expected a fight, some dramatic response. But I just nodded. "Me. Thanks for the honesty." And that was it. She looked confused for a second, like she didn't know what game I was playing. But I just went upstairs and got ready for bed. I didn't touch her. I didn't look at her. I just laid down next to the woman who saw me as a placeholder. She fell asleep first. I didn't sleep at all. By morning, I was gone. She was still asleep when I left. I didn't slam any doors. I didn't write some dramatic note or pack everything I owned. Just one suitcase. The essentials. My laptop, my passport, 2 days worth of clothes, my toothbrush. I moved quietly, carefully, like someone sneaking out of a burning building. Only in this case, the fire had been burning for months, and I was the only one choking on the smoke. I took one last look around our apartment. My name was on the lease. Most of the furniture was mine. The TV, the dishes, even the mattress, all mine. But I didn't take any of it. I didn't want her to think I was trying to punish her. I wasn't. I was done. I left a single note on the kitchen counter. "Don't worry. You'll have plenty of time to figure it out now." Then I walked out, locked the door behind me, and turned off my phone. For the next few days, I crashed on my buddy Chris's couch. I didn't tell him the full story at first, just that things went south and I needed a break. He offered no questions, just beer and silence. I appreciated that more than he'll ever know. The first night, I sat in the dark with a blanket around me, staring at my phone. Not checking it, just staring. Wondering how long it would take for her to notice. Wondering what she'd say. Wondering if she'd even care. No calls. No messages. Nothing. I checked her Instagram. Yes, I was weak, and saw she had posted a boomerang that morning of herself holding an iced coffee with the caption, "New day, new mindset, son." I was gone 5 hours, and she was already rebranding. That was when the last thread snapped. Not out of anger, not even sadness, just finality. I turned the phone off, blocked her, deleted every photo, video, and text thread. Then I went for a run. I hadn't run in months, but something about the movement felt necessary, like I was sweating her out. I stayed off social media for a while. Focused on work. Focused on sleeping again. Focused on reclaiming parts of myself I'd let fade in the background. The guitar in my closet, the side project I'd shelved, the friends I'd unintentionally distanced myself from because I was always checking in with Tessa first. The silence hurt, but it also healed. There were nights where I replayed it all. The little digs, the passive-aggressive jabs. The night she called me a placeholder like it was some cute observation. I'd lie there wondering, did she ever actually love me? Or was I just a pit stop? But eventually, the questions stopped coming. I stopped needing answers from someone who never gave them to begin with. 3 weeks in, Chris looked at me over breakfast and said, "Man, I don't know what happened exactly, but whatever it was, it's like you're lighter now." And he was right. I was. I sent Tessa a formal email after a month. Just logistics. My name was being taken off the lease. I was transferring the utilities, and she could keep the furniture. The last line simply said, "No need to reply. Please consider this closure." She didn't reply, but she read it. Twice. That's when the silence turned real. Not the kind you sit in while waiting for someone to reach out. The kind you choose, because you finally realize you don't need them to. And even though I didn't know it yet, her silence wasn't confidence. It was just the beginning of her unraveling. It started with little whispers from mutuals. One of her old friends, Megan, sent me a random message on Instagram about 2 months after I disappeared. Just a screenshot. No text. It was a story Tessa had posted. Her standing outside a club in heels with smeared eyeliner and the caption, "Wild night. Why do I always pick the worst ones?" Faced with rolling eyes, I didn't respond. I didn't ask questions. But I won't lie. I stared at that picture longer than I should have. A week later, another mutual, Jared, a guy from our old friend circle, called to catch up. We weren't close, so it felt out of the blue. "Jared, hey man, just wanted to say, you dodged a bullet." Me? What do you mean? "Jared, you didn't hear this from me, okay? But the guy she left you for? Total dumpster fire." I just listened. Apparently, a few days after I left, Tessa started openly seeing the guy she'd sworn was just a gym friend. Let's call him Trent. Full-on couple mode. Posting him on her story, tagging him at bars, sitting on his lap at parties. No shame. Jared told me Trent was a classic chaos magnet. One of those guys who's all muscles, crypto schemes, and toxic alpha male podcasts. At first, Tessa was all over him, bragging about how real men take what they want. 2 months later, he ghosted her. Just disappeared, blocked her number, unfollowed her on everything, and reportedly told a few people she was too clingy and a buzzkill. Word spread that she tried showing up at his place to talk, and he threatened to call the cops. I didn't laugh. I didn't smile. I just said, "Appreciate the update." But inside, something settled. After that, the messages started trickling in. Not from her, not yet, but from her ecosystem. A friend of hers DM'd me out of nowhere. "Hey, not trying to start anything, but Tessa's really going through it. Just thought you should know." I didn't respond. Then her cousin, someone I'd only met twice, added me on Facebook and liked 10 of my photos in a row. One of them was just a picture of my dog with the caption, "Peace looks good on you." That one she heart reacted. It was subtle, But the message was loud. She was watching. Then, finally, came the message from Tessa herself. Late at night, 3 months after I left. Tessa, hey, I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from, but I just wanted to say I'm sorry. For everything. You didn't deserve how I treated you. I stared at it for a long time. Not out of temptation, just disbelief. 3 months of silence, and that's what she led with? I didn't answer. A day later, Tessa, I was confused. I thought I needed something exciting, but all I got was chaos. You were the best thing in my life, and I was too stupid to see it. Still no answer. 2 days after that, a voice message. I didn't open it. I don't even know what she said. Then she escalated. She showed up outside my work. I was heading to my car after a late meeting and saw her leaning against the hood like we were in some low-budget romance movie. Hair done, makeup perfect, but her face looked tired, a little desperate. I stopped a few feet away. Me? How did you know I worked here? Tessa, you forget I helped you set up your LinkedIn. I didn't smile. Tessa, please. Just 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. I sighed and crossed my arms. Tessa, I messed up, okay? I thought I was trading up. I thought I needed more thrill, more something. But Trent? He was a lie. Everything about him. And the second things got real, he dumped me. Like I was nothing. Me. You called me a placeholder. She looked down. Tessa, I didn't mean it. I was just being cruel. I thought if I could convince myself you weren't enough, I'd feel better about what I was doing. Silence. Tessa, but the truth is, you were everything. And I threw it away. I was stupid. I see that now. I'd give anything to go back. I let her sit in the quiet. Then I said, calmly, me. You were right, Tessa. She blinked. What? Me? I was a placeholder. For the version of you that never showed up. Then I walked around her, got in my car, and drove away. She didn't follow. That night, I slept better than I had in years. After that night in the parking lot, I thought maybe she'd take the hint. That maybe, just maybe, she'd walk away with whatever dignity she still had. I was wrong. What followed was like watching someone drown in a pool they jumped into with a smile. Desperation, then rage, then that pathetic, exhausted flailing when they realized no one's coming to save them. The next morning, I had 5 missed calls and 3 voicemails from an unknown number. Her voice, shaky, crying in the first one. I know I messed up. I don't even recognize myself anymore. I just miss you. I miss the way you used to look at me, like I was enough. I haven't felt that since. 2 hours later, a second voicemail, angrier. Wow. So this is what you've become. Cold. Emotionless. I hope being above it all keeps you warm at night. Then a third, back to pleading. Please. I'm not asking to get back together. I just need closure. Real closure. It went on like that for days. Hot and cold. Guilt trips wrapped in apologies. Passive-aggressive texts, sad selfies with captions like, you never know what you had until it's gone. I even got a message from her mom. Her mom. I know Tessa made mistakes, but we all do. Don't you think she deserves a second chance? No, I didn't. I didn't respond to any of it. Because every attempt she made said the same thing. I don't miss you. I miss the version of myself I got to be when you loved me. The final straw came when she showed up at my apartment building. I was coming back from the gym, earbuds in, hoodie on, sweat still clinging to my back. She was waiting near the front entrance with a brown paper bag in her hands. Tessa, hey, I brought your favorite. Thai from that place on 5th. Chicken pad see-ew, extra spicy. I stopped 5 feet short of her. Me? Why are you here, Tessa? She forced a smile, eyes glassy. Tessa, because I miss talking to you. Because I can't sleep without thinking about what I did. Because I don't want to spend the rest of my life wondering if I lost the best thing that ever happened to me. She stepped closer, holding the bag like a peace offering. Tessa, I know I said some disgusting things. I know I treated you like an accessory, but you were never a placeholder. You were the real thing. I was just too broken to see it. I looked her dead in the eyes. Me? No, you saw it. You just thought you could do better. Her mouth opened slightly, like she wanted to argue. I didn't give her the chance. Me? You didn't want a man. You wanted a mirror. Someone to reflect back a version of yourself you could feel proud of without doing the work. I was never your placeholder. You were just unready. She looked stunned. Tessa, so that's it. Me, no. This is it. I stepped past her, buzzed into the building, and let the door close behind me. She didn't follow. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. Just stood there with that paper bag in her hands, looking small. That was the last time I saw her. I moved a month later. New city, new job, new circle. I kept my head down and my peace intact. I don't post much, but when I do, it's intentional. Smiling, surrounded by people who actually know how to treat others. Last I heard through someone's tagged photos, Tess is back living with her parents. Jobless. Posting about energy vampires and setting boundaries like she wasn't the one who tore everything apart. I never replied to her last text. Tessa, one day, you're gonna look back and realize I was the only one who ever really loved you. No, one day, she's going to look back and realize she had someone who loved her the way she always said she wanted, and she spit on it. And by then, she won't even be a memory worth revisiting. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.